Okay, so I think we can all agree relationships are fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how we communicate our feelings, well, that can get really interesting.
Definitely, especially those messy feelings.
Right, exactly. And today we are diving deep into the ways we say, I love you.
Ooh, I love this topic.
Me too, but
Yeah.
we're going beyond just the words themselves.
So beyond like just saying, I love you.
Yeah, we're exploring how we express it, like letters or even text messages.
Interesting.
Yeah, it can make a huge difference.
Like how those messages are received.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the medium can really become the message.
So true, and especially when it comes to something as powerful as those three little words.
Exactly. It's really interesting.
So before we get into all that, I've always wondered, why is communication so important in a relationship?
Well, it's not just about, you know, passing on information or something.
Yeah.
It's really about building a reality together,
Oh, wow.
a shared reality.
I like that.
Think of it this way. Every interaction, every conversation, even like a text message, that's all adding another layer to your relationship, to the
Oh.
canvas of your relationship.
Okay, so those small exchanges.
Yeah, exactly. They build up over time to create deeper connections,
I see.
understanding, and intimacy.
So it's like building a house brick by brick.
Yeah, I like that.
But instead of bricks, it's words.
Or gestures.
Relevnis.
Uh-huh, exactly. And just like a house needs a good foundation,
Right. To laugh.
a relationship needs that too.
Yeah.
And those foundations are built on communication.
Okay.
And the three pillars of communication.
Oh, so there are three.
Creating a shared understanding,
Mm-hmm.
expressing affection and value,
Okay.
and weaving together those experiences that become like the fabric of your history
I see.
together.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm starting to see how this all comes together.
Yeah.
So let's get into the how we actually say I love you.
Okay.
Let's start with love letters.
Mhm.
I mean, is it just me or is there something so romantic
There is. Yeah.
about handwritten love letters?
There is. And there's a reason they've been around forever.
Yeah, like centuries.
Centuries.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just nostalgia, though.
Right.
There's a lot of psychology behind why those handwritten letters hold such a special place.
Okay, so what is it?
Well,
What's the science behind the magic?
well, for starters, think about the effort involved.
Mm.
You're not just, hitting send. You're carefully picking out stationery,
Oh, yeah.
and taking the time to think about your words.
You really craft them.
Uh-huh. It shows thoughtfulness and dedication
It does, yeah.
that you can't get from an email or, a text.
Yeah, it's like saying, you're worth my time.
Yes.
My energy, my hand cramp, even.
Exactly. And we as humans tend to value things more
Oh, really?
when we think they require more effort.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, and because you're being deliberate with your words.
Right, taking your time.
You can really express yourself more fully.
Oh,
A letter lets you unpack those complex feelings that you might not get to in a conversation.
yeah.
It's fleeting.
That makes a lot of sense.
You're giving those big feelings the space to breathe.
Wow, I like that.
And then there's the fact that a letter becomes an object, a keepsake
Oh, yeah.
that your partner can hold on to.
It's tangible.
Yes, and they can return to it again and again.
Years later, even.
Yes, exactly. They can reread those words and go back to that moment
Wow, yeah.
and re-experience those emotions.
That's just powerful.
It's a powerful connection to the past
Yeah.
and a reminder of your love.
Yeah, it's like creating a physical manifestation of your feelings.
Yes.
It's like a piece of your heart
Ah,
that they can hold on to.
I love that.
And what about the element of surprise?
Oh, yeah.
Like a letter arriving in the mail.
Yes.
Unexpected.
It disrupts the routine.
It does.
And it carries a weight
Yeah,
that a text just can't match.
that's true. Okay, so we've covered the charm of snail mail,
Okay.
but most of us are expressing love
Yeah.
in the digital age
Wow.
through, spoken words and texts.
Wow, for sure. What's your take on these more modern methods?
Well, they each have their own strengths,
Okay.
especially when it comes to nurturing that constant connection.
Oh, yeah.
That's so important these days.
Especially these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes those in-person I love yous so impactful?
There's a raw immediacy to it
Hmm.
when you're face to face.
Okay.
Your tone of voice, your facial expressions,
Yeah.
even like the slightest touch can add so much meaning to the words.
Oh, I see.
It allows for that nuanced emotional exchange
Yeah.
that you just can't get from writing.
It's like a symphony
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
unspoken communication
Yeah.
happening along with the words.
Precisely. You're both present in that moment,
Right.
reacting to each other's emotions,
Oh.
creating a deeper connection.
Oh, wow.
And let's not forget physical touch.
Oh, yeah.
Like a hug,
A kiss.
a kiss, or just holding hands, those can speak volumes,
They do, yeah.
even more than words.
So in person is all about being present and letting those emotions flow. Yes, being in the moment.
Yeah, okay, but what about texting?
Okay?
How does something as simple as a text
Right.
become so powerful?
Texting is all about convenience and accessibility.
Okay.
It allows us to stay connected all day.
Even when we're miles apart.
Exactly. Even when you're miles apart.
It's great for those little reminders.
Yeah, like thinking of you or have a great day.
Yeah.
Things that can really brighten someone's day.
Yeah, and strengthen the bond.
Ah.
So it's like sending little love letters all day.
Yes, exactly. And some may argue that texting lacks depth,
Ah,
but I think it has its own charm.
I can see that.
Sometimes a love you text can arrive just when someone needs it
Right.
and be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it can be. So it seems like each of these methods have their own strengths and weaknesses.
For sure.
But what about you out there listening?
Yeah.
We know you have your own experiences
Uh-huh.
and preferences when it comes to saying, I love you.
I'd love to hear about it.
We actually have a few stories from listeners
Oh, cool.
that highlight this.
Okay.
The first one comes from someone who really values pen and paper.
Hmm.
They shared, I love writing letters to my partner.
Oh.
There's something so special about seeing my thoughts written down.
Yeah,
It feels more permanent, more heartfelt than a text.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it speaks to that desire for something tangible.
Exactly. And that's slowing down to really delve into those emotions.
Absolutely. Then we have someone who loves that instant connection.
Oh, cool.
They said, for me, nothing beats saying, I love you in person.
Yeah.
Hearing those words and seeing their reaction, it just feels so genuine.
Right. It's about that real-time connection
Yeah.
and the joy of seeing your partner's response.
It's like you're both riding that wave of emotion.
Yes, you're sharing that energy.
Exactly. And finally, we heard from someone who loves the ease of digital communication.
Okay.
They said, I love how easy it is to text, I love you throughout the day. It's those little reminders that keep us feeling connected even when we're busy.
Yeah, it keeps that connection alive,
Yeah,
even when life gets in the way.
it does. So it seems there's no right or wrong way
No,
to express love.
not at all.
So how do we navigate these different approaches and find what works best in our own relationships?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's what we'll explore in part 2 of this deep dive.
I can't wait.
Me too. Okay. You know, it's not about picking one perfect way to say I love you.
Right.
It's about understanding that letters, conversations, even those quick texts all have their place.
Okay.
It's like having a diverse toolkit.
I like that. So how do we make all these different love languages work together?
Good question.
Like, how do we become fluent
Wow.
in saying I love you in all these ways?
Think of it like this. You wouldn't use a hammer for every DIY project.
Right?
You need different tools for different tasks.
That's a great analogy.
And it's the same with relationships.
So we're ditching the one-size-fits-all.
Yeah. And embracing the variety pack.
Variety pack, exactly.
But how do we know which tool to use when?
Okay, so here's where it gets practical.
Okay.
First, don't be afraid to mix things up.
Okay.
A handwritten note and I love you during a movie. A silly good morning text.
I see.
It keeps things interesting and ensures you're speaking their love language.
It's like a dance
Yeah.
where you're switching up the
It's-
steps to keep the energy going.
Keep the energy flowing. But just like in a dance, timing is key.
Oh.
So those spontaneous texts are great to stay connected.
Right.
But it's also important to have those deeper face-to-face conversations
Yeah.
where you put away the distractions and really connect.
So it's about balancing those quick connections with those intentional moments.
Yes, exactly. Put away the phones, turn off the TV,
Be present.
be present. Yeah, those are the moments where real intimacy happens.
It's like creating a sacred space
Beautifully said.
for your relationship.
Yeah, free from distractions.
Yeah, and it's not just about how you like to express love.
Right.
It's about understanding what makes your partner feel loved.
Exactly what makes them feel seen.
So it's about personalization.
Yeah, maybe your partner loves those notes because it shows effort.
Yeah,
Or maybe they light up when you say I love you out loud.
because it makes them feel secure.
Right, it's like cracking a code
Oh,
to unlock their heart.
wow. And this understanding goes both ways, right?
Oh, absolutely. Communication is a two-way street.
Okay.
It's about listening to your partner and understanding their needs too.
So it's a dialogue
Yeah, like a dance.
where you're both leading and following.
Exactly, listening and responding.
But that takes practice, right?
Of course, just like any skill, communication takes practice.
Okay.
The more you put in the effort, the stronger your relationship will be.
So we've explored all these love languages.
Yeah, from letters to whispers to texts.
And we've uncovered why these methods are so powerful.
Yeah, and how they impact relationships.
And it's not about picking one right way.
No.
Not at all. To say I love you.
It's about understanding the nuances, mixing things up, being intentional,
Yeah.
and personalizing your approach.
Wow. This has been an incredible journey.
Yeah, it has.
And I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
There's always more to explore.
There is. But before we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with one final thought. So we've talked about how the letters, the words, even the texts.
Right, all the different ways to say it.
But what about the why? Why do we see those three little words?
Well, to me, the power of I love you really lies in the intention behind it.
Okay, so it's not just about saying the word.
No, it's about meaning it.
Right, like really meaning it.
Yes, it's the depth of feeling the connection that makes those words come alive.
So you have to feel it first.
Yeah, and then choose a way to express it that feels authentic to you.
That makes sense because a love letter written out of obligation
Right.
feels very different from one that's like overflowing with love.
Exactly, and a quick love you text.
Yep.
Doesn't carry the same weight as an I love you said with sincerity.
So the real question is,
Yeah.
what makes your I love you meaningful?
What makes it more than just words?
What makes it something your partner will cherish?
No matter how you say it.
These are good questions to think about
Yeah, as you navigate relationships.
because they can be beautiful, but also complicated.
They can be. Yeah, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, what resonates with you?
What are your experiences?
Because here at the Deep Dive, we believe knowledge is best when it's shared.
Absolutely. So keep talking about it.
Yeah, keep exploring those love languages.
And most importantly,
Never stop expressing your love.
yes, in ways that feel meaningful to you and your partner.
After all, relationships are a journey.
They are a journey, not a destination.
And with a little effort, we can create a love story
Huh.
that's as beautiful as we are.
That's a great way to put it.
And that's a wrap on today's Deep Dive.
Thanks for listening.
Into love languages. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep the love alive.